Hello, my name is Muhammad Al-Amin. I'm from Gombe State. I'm Fulani by tribe and I'm from Gombe local government. In our state, we call our emir Lamido. We call him Lamto Gombe. So I'm here to discuss about the stereotype that is being associated with our tribe and region. I think largely. Gombe State is from the northern part of the country, from northeast. Wow. Does that one even exist? Well, of course, when I was young, we used to hear this in storybooks. I think we call it Tatsunia then or something like that. About all this, how this one will go and bewitch this one, her husband, you know, in the north we are largely polygamous, and we often procreate a lot. So sometimes they will be like, this stepmom have actually went and do this witchcraft to this one, but I don't really think if it's real. So because I haven't seen it, I haven't really seen the effect on anybody, so I don't really think if it's really real. But there are a whole lot of speculation about it, I think. But just as everybody is hearing about, that's how we're also just a hearsay. I don't think if it should be taken serious or allocated to also something like that. Define illiteracy. Do you mean Western education, or do you mean illiteracy? Like, because like now, going back to history of Nigeria, if you can go back I think the Fulanis and the Hausas in the north are the only people when the Western explorers came found with a written documentation. Because even going back then, we have a written documentation through Arabic. We call it Ajami. It's you write anything you want in Arabic. You write your history and all this things. So, but subsequently, when the explorers came and they conquered, there are a whole lot of issues because, like, we have our way of governance, we have our way of keeping our documents, we have our way of everything, we have our way of life. So obviously, there is a whole lot of retaliation by the people from the north and the leaders and all these things. So that was why we were a little bit backward in the Western education. So I think it will be unfair to just say there are a whole lot of issue of illiteracy. So, and even that was then, not anymore. Our people goes to school. Even the Fulanis are in the bush. There is this nomadic education that was introduced, I think, like a decade back. Anywhere you are going, you can actually meet a nomadic school. You go to school and all these things. I'm a Fulani, and I went to school. I graduated. Today I'm working. So I believe people like companies like HBC Group will not hire incompetent people. So I'm a really example of Fulani literate people. Yes, not all, because if you go to places like Liman Katagun and Tapawa Balewa in Bochi, there are a whole lot of Fulani people that are Christians. So, and I don't think if they are stigmatized or anything like that. And does religion even matters in the way of life? There is this saying by our governor, former governor of Gombe State, Nongombo. He said, the Muslimi, the Christian in Gombe, Kwaeje, Abunde case, Gweje, Adinensa, in Anjechenza Agawa in Megaska. So everybody should just go and do his own religion and let's just do our this. And by the time we reach there, we should all, the ones that are going to the heaven will see, and the ones that, that's seriously, that's just what I think. So, then Fulani, herdsmen, Boko Haram. Well, let me start with Boko Haram. Boko Harams, let me just say they are terrorists. And terrorism is a global issue. It's not only in Nigeria. There are extreme Islamist groups that have been terrorizing everybody. I can tell you there are victims all over the world. They are largely the people that are practicing Islam. So it's not really about where they came. It's not, we don't accept them. We ourselves are really battling on how we are going to reduce all those things, how we are going to more translate the religion in more open and understanding way that people should understand. Islam is a religion of peace. The word Islam means peace. Not like you just be killing people anyhow. So I think that one is not really only Fulanis, because like now if you look at Al-Shabaab, they are Arabs. If you look at ISIL's led by Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, Al-Qaeda, the ones that did September 11, these are all people that are not even Fulanis, and these are the kind of people that the Boko Haram are looking up to. It's not like they are from the then herdsmen. Herdsmen. Well, lately, I think like a decade back, there is this turmoil that have been bedeviling some northern part of the country, which has been allegedly perpetrated by the herdsmen. Well, first of all, let's address this thing carefully. Not all Fulanis are herdsmen. I mean, I'm Fulani, and I can assure you that I don't know how to chase a cow in the village, in the bush. To be honest, I've never done that. So then, I think it's also going to be unrealistic to say that all herdsmen are criminals. So, but however, if at all it's true, the accusations that all Fulani, that the herdsmen are Fulanis, and they are the ones that are doing all this banditing, arm robbing, and kidnapping people, I will want to use the Koma platform to call on the, if you permit me, of course, to call on the ones that are doing all those things. Barka Allah dalu. Waru jengirde mino, even mino min get the karo and hokumoshe to go to school. Dure reme jenge. That is what one of the most successful and one of the founders of the Fulani empires, Adam Fodio, said. He said, Dure reme jenge. Go to school, study, and also rear your cattle and do your farming. There is nothing like kidnapping. You guys are really letting us down. Fulanis are one of the most intelligent people in the continent. Growing up, the impression I had from home is that I came from one of the major tribes in the country, of course, meaning Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, and Yoruba. Also, growing up, I grew up with this impression and pride that we are one of that while the Yorubas have the highest number of literate people in the country, Hausa and Igbos being the brain, my business brain of this nation, we the Fulanis are one of the most intelligent people in the continent at large. Of course, if you go back to history, you will see that okay, the Yorubas have Professor Wale Soyinka, and the Hausas, if you go to the ancient Kano, they have the Dantatas, which recently with their proteges and successors in the likes of Aminu Dantata and Aliko Dangote, and the Igbos, if you go to Alaba International, they practically own the market. So now if you come back to the Fulanis being like we are one of the most intelligent, you see in Adamawa we have Professor Jibril Aminu, who happens to be one of the first cardiologists and heart surgeon that was said have successfully done a heart transplant in Africa, the first few people. So we have all those prides and all these things. So please, you people should just come to school. Let's come and do a whole lot of things and forget about all these things. Besides, how much is even there? Our currency is even going down. You guys should come. Let's look for money in dollars, please. Lately, I was on holiday, even because one of my bosses was able to come to my remedy for accommodation. I don't know if I'm going to even come back because of the value of our currency. So just come and look for money in dollars, please. And forget about the kidnapping. Well, nepotism, I think it's a universal issue in the country because it's something that has to do with corruption. So I don't think if it's only Fulanis that have this issue, and even if they do, I don't even know. I have not really been, because like I'm not even working with any government agency or anything. Nobody give me job. I went out and looked for hustle and all this and so. And I don't really see anybody that has actually taken his CV. Somebody has given. I don't really, even if it exists, I don't really know. I know that there are a whole lot of speculation, and there is no way all these things will just start coming off without a little bit sense of truth. But I think it's a universal issue in the country. So, and let me tell you, let me just use this platform again to say, if we did not stop this thing, we are not going anywhere. To be honest. We are not going anywhere. So please, let's be giving appointments based on competence, not anybody that actually can serve. Let's give him the opportunity to do the needful and go forward in the country. Well, I think there is a little bit of truth to this one, and I think it's as a result of now, as I said earlier when I was discussing about literacy, when the people came, the white people came with the Western education and everything, there was a whole lot of retaliation. So at some point in the North, it's only the people that are directly known and affected that were able to go to school. Now, like the people from the royal families and all this, and even them, it's not like they are privileged. No, they are just forced, because like at some point the explorers were like, either you people should accept what we are bringing to you people, go to school, or we are going to dethrone you people. So the other people always, while these people are being forced to go to school, the remaining people are just going to bush and all these things. Then subsequently, their way of life. Their way of life is, our way of life in the North is largely farming and rearing of cattle and all these things. And there have been a whole lot of issues, I think in early 80s, when there was this rain affairs that wipe out almost all the cattle. And then, even now, we don't have proper insurance system in the country. So a whole lot of people lost a whole lot of things, and the ones that their wealth is not properly insured, they were able to lose everything. Then also with the education, the literacy and all this. I think that is why you're having issues with some people are largely rich, some people are poor and all these things. That's what I can say. Wow, that's the problem. Well, being Fulani, and I'm also Hausa, because from the North, everybody speaks Hausa and Fulani. So I'm going to say that Ajama, we following in Koma Club, we subscribing now, so we liking us on Instagram and also YouTube on their YouTube page. So, and I have to emphasize this thing that I'm for you. I'm for you to do re